Before you scroll away, you need to hear what happened when my parents' neighbor finally told them who I really am. My name is Dr. Maya Patel. I'm 35 years old, and I'm a cardiothoracic surgeon in Boston. For 15 years, my parents barely spoke to me. Maybe a text on birthdays, maybe a quick call on holidays. But their neighbor, Mrs. Chen, they called her constantly. Can you check if we left the stove on? Can you water our plants while we're away? Can you pick up our mail? Mrs. Chen lived next door. I lived 3 hours away. They trusted her more than they trusted me. Last month, my father had a heart attack. Guess who they called first? Mrs. Chen, not me, their daughter, the heart surgeon, Mrs. Chen. But when she got to the hospital and saw my name on his surgical team roster, everything changed. "Wait," she said to my mother. "You know who your daughter is, right?" What she revealed next made my parents turn white. Stay until the end. Because this story is about more than just being overlooked. Let me explain how I got here. I'm the oldest of 3 kids. I have a younger brother, Raj, and a younger sister, Priya. We grew up in a traditional Indian American family in New Jersey. My parents immigrated from India in the 1980s. They worked hard to build a stable life. Dad owned a small convenience store. Mom worked as a bank teller. They had very specific expectations for their children, especially for their daughters. From the time I was young, the message was clear. Study hard, but not too hard. Be smart, but not intimidating. Get a good education, but remember, your real job is to get married and have children. My brother Raj, different story. Raj will be a doctor or an engineer. He'll make us proud. Raj is so smart. He's going to do great things. Raj got all the attention, all the praise, all the resources. I was just expected to be acceptable, good enough to attract a good husband, but not so successful that I'd intimidate men. That was the balance I was supposed to strike. But I didn't want balance. I wanted excellence. I was obsessed with science, especially biology and anatomy. I'd watch surgery shows on TV, fascinated. "Mom, I want to be a surgeon when I grow up," she laughed. "Surgeons work very long hours, Maya. How will you have time for a family?" "Maybe I won't have a family." Her face fell. "Don't say that. Every woman wants a family. I want to save lives." "You can be a nurse." "Nurses help save lives too." "I want to be a doctor." "Maya, be realistic. Medical school is very expensive and very competitive. It's better to have practical goals." Practical goals meant becoming a pharmacist or a teacher, something respectable but not too demanding, something that would leave room for the real goal, marriage and children. I ignored their advice. I studied relentlessly, got straight A's, took every AP science class available. When it was time to apply to college, I applied to pre-med programs. "Maya, are you sure about this?" my father asked. "Medical school is 8 more years after college. You'll be 30 before you're done." So by then it will be hard to find a good match. Men want younger wives. "I don't care what men want." My mother looked horrified. "Maya, don't talk like that. It's true. I want to be a doctor. If that means I don't get married, fine." "You don't mean that." "I do." They didn't believe me. They thought it was a phase. I got accepted to Cornell for undergraduate, pre-med track. My parents were proud, but worried. "Just remember, education is good, but family is more important," my mom said. Raj, meanwhile, was going to MIT for engineering. They threw him a huge party, invited all their friends. For my acceptance to Cornell, a quiet dinner at home. "We don't want to make a big deal," my mother said. "People will think we're showing off." Translation: we don't want people to think our daughter is too ambitious. I went to Cornell. I excelled. I graduated with honors, got accepted to Johns Hopkins for medical school, one of the best medical programs in the country. My parents' reaction? Johns Hopkins? That's in Maryland, so far from home. It's a great opportunity. "Maya, you're 22 now. We've been getting proposals. Good families, good boys. I'm not interested in proposals. You need to think about your future." "I am thinking about my future. Medical school is my future." My father sighed. What about Vikram? The Sharma's son. He's a software engineer. Good salary. His family is interested. I don't know Vikram. You can meet him. His family is coming for dinner next week. I'm not going to be here next week. I'm moving to Baltimore for school. Maya, at least meet him. No. I moved to Baltimore, started medical school. Medical school was brutal, harder than anything I'd ever done. 18-hour days, constant studying, endless exams. But I loved it. I was finally doing exactly what I wanted. During my second year, I decided to specialize in cardiothoracic surgery. The heart, the most complex organ, the most challenging surgeries. My professors warned me. It's one of the hardest specializations. Very few women make it. I'll make it. And I did. I matched for a surgical residency at Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston, one of the most competitive programs in the country. When I told my parents, they didn't understand what it meant. Boston? Another move? My mother said. Mom, this is Mass General. It's one of the top hospitals in the world. That's nice, dear. Listen, the Kumar family has a son. He's a dentist. He's looking for a bride. I'm not interested. Maya, you're 26 now. You can't wait forever. I'm not waiting. I'm busy becoming a surgeon. You can be a surgeon and a wife. Not the kind of surgeon I want to be, she sighed. Your father and I worry about you. Alone in these big cities. No family, no husband. I'm fine, Mom. Priya is engaged, you know. Priya, my younger sister, had followed the traditional path. She'd gone to college, majored in business, and was now engaged to a nice Indian-American man her parents approved of. She was 23, getting married at 24. My parents were thrilled. Finally, one daughter who makes us proud, my mom said. That hurt, more than I wanted to admit. But I pushed forward. Residency was hell, 80-hour weeks, constant pressure, life or death decisions. I barely had time to sleep, let alone visit family. My parents stopped calling as much. When we did talk, the conversations were brief. How are you? Busy. Are you eating? When I can. You work too much. It's residency. Everyone works this much. Priya's wedding is in 3 months. You're coming, right? I'll try. My schedule is complicated. Maya, it's your sister's wedding. You have to come. I said I'll try. I made it to the wedding. Barely. I flew in the day before, flew out the day after. At the wedding, relatives asked the same questions. When are you getting married? I'm focused on my career right now. But you're the oldest. It's embarrassing that your younger sister married first. I'm not embarrassed. What will people say? I don't care what people say. My parents overheard. They looked ashamed. After the wedding, my mother pulled me aside. Maya, you embarrassed us today. How? Telling everyone you don't care about marriage? Making it seem like you think you're too good for our community? I never said that. You implied it. People are talking. Let them talk. This is our reputation, Maya. Not just yours. Mom, I'm becoming a heart surgeon. Isn't that something to be proud of? Of course. But that doesn't mean you can ignore tradition. I left that conversation feeling emptier than ever. I finished my residency. Then I did a fellowship in cardiothoracic surgery. By the time I was 33, I was a fully trained cardiothoracic surgeon. Dr. Maya Patel, one of the youngest female heart surgeons in Boston. I joined the surgical team at Mass General, one of only 3 female cardiothoracic surgeons in the department. I was performing complex surgeries, saving lives. I published research papers, spoke at medical conferences. My colleagues respected me. My patients trusted me. I'd built exactly the life I wanted. But my relationship with my parents had crumbled to almost nothing. We talked maybe once every few months. Brief conversations, surface level. How are you? Good. Busy. Still in Boston? Yes. Raj got a promotion. He's doing very well. That's great. Priya's pregnant. You'll be an aunt soon. Congratulations. You should visit more. I'm very busy with work. Too busy for family? and that's where the conversation would end. Meanwhile, I found out through social media that they'd become very close with their neighbor, Mrs. Chen. Mrs. Chen was a retired teacher, a widow in her 70s. She lived next door to my parents in New Jersey. I'd see posts on Facebook. "Thank you, Mrs. Chen, for watering our plants while we were away. Mrs. Chen made us her famous dumplings. So grateful for wonderful neighbors like Mrs. Chen. They called her for everything. Mrs. Chen, can you keep an eye on the house? Mrs. Chen, can you grab our mail? Mrs. Chen, can you help us with the computer?" But me, their daughter who lived 3 hours away, they never asked me for anything, because asking me would mean acknowledging I was too busy, or too important, or too far away. It was easier to rely on the neighbor. One time I suggested visiting for a weekend. "Oh, this weekend isn't good," my mother said. "Mrs. Chen is taking us to the botanical garden." "What about next weekend?" "We're busy then, too." They had time for Mrs. Chen. Not for me. I stopped offering to visit. If they wanted to see me, they could ask. They never did. Last month, on a Tuesday afternoon, I was in surgery. A complex valve replacement. 6-hour procedure. I was 3 hours in when my phone started buzzing in my locker. I couldn't check it. I was literally inside someone's chest. After the surgery, I checked my phone. 15 missed calls, not from my parents, from Raj. My stomach dropped. I called him back immediately. "Raj, what's wrong?" "It's Dad. He had a heart attack. He's at St. Vincent's in New Jersey." "When?" 2 hours ago. Mom called Mrs. Chen and she drove them to the hospital." "She called Mrs. Chen? Why didn't she call me?" "I don't know. I guess she panicked and called whoever was closest. I felt a familiar ache. Even in an emergency, I wasn't the first call." "How is he?" "They're saying he needs surgery. They're prepping him now." "What kind of surgery?" "I don't know. Some kind of heart thing." I was already grabbing my coat. "I'm coming." "What's his status? What are his vitals? What did the doctors say?" "Maya, I don't understand all the medical stuff. Just come." I drove to New Jersey, broke every speed limit. I called the hospital on the way, got transferred to the cardiac unit. "This is Dr. Maya Patel. I'm calling about my father, Ravi Patel. He was brought in with a heart attack." "Yes, Dr. Patel. He's being evaluated now. Looks like he'll need a coronary artery bypass." "Who's the attending surgeon?" "Dr. Morrison." I knew Dr. Morrison. We'd worked together at a conference. "Can you tell Dr. Morrison that the patient's daughter is also a cardiothoracic surgeon?" "I'm on my way." "Of course, doctor." When I arrived at the hospital, I found my family in the waiting room. My mother, Raj, Priya, and Mrs. Chen. Mrs. Chen was holding my mother's hand. My mother looked up when she saw me. "Maya, you came." "Of course I came." "Where's Dad?" "They took him for tests. They said he needs surgery." "I know. I spoke to the surgical team. Dr. Morrison is excellent. Dad's in good hands." "You know the surgeon?" Raj asked. "Yes, I've worked with him before." My mother looked surprised. "You know heart surgeons?" "Mom, I am a heart surgeon." She blinked. "I thought you were still training." "I finished training 2 years ago. I'm an attending surgeon at Mass General." Mrs. Chen was looking at me with wide eyes. "Wait," she said slowly. "Are you the Dr. Maya Patel?" Everyone turned to look at her. "What do you mean?" my mother asked. Mrs. Chen pulled out her phone. "I was just reading an article yesterday about a female heart surgeon who pioneered a new technique for valve replacement. They said she's revolutionizing cardiac surgery. She showed my mother the phone. It was an article from a medical journal with my picture. Dr. Maya Patel, cardiothoracic surgeon at Massachusetts General Hospital, has developed a minimally invasive technique that reduces recovery time for valve replacement patients by 40%. My mother stared at the article, then at me. "This is you?" "Yes." "You're famous?" "I'm not famous. I'm just doing my job." Mrs. Chen was scrolling through more articles. "There are dozens of articles about you." "Awards, speaking engagements. Maya, you're incredible." My mother looked pale. "I didn't know." "I told you what I do, Mom." "Many times." "I thought you were a regular doctor." "I am a regular doctor. I just specialize in hearts." Raj was reading over Mrs. Chen's shoulder. "Maya, you've done over 500 heart surgeries?" "About 600 now, actually." "And you've published research?" 12 papers in the last 3 years. My family was staring at me like they'd never seen me before. "Why didn't you tell us?" my mother asked. "I did tell you. You never asked for details. But these awards, these conferences, you were always too busy when I called. And when we did talk, you only wanted to talk about Raj's job or Priya's kids." The waiting room went silent. Mrs. Chen spoke up gently. "Your daughter is one of the top heart surgeons in the country, and you didn't know?" My mother's eyes filled with tears. "I thought she was just working at a hospital." "She's not just working at a hospital," Mrs. Chen said. "She's saving lives, innovating techniques, teaching other surgeons. She's extraordinary." Dr. Morrison came out to the waiting room. "Patel family?" We all stood. "I'm Dr. Morrison. Your father needs a triple bypass. It's a serious surgery, but we've done thousands. He's in good hands." "Can I scrub in?" I asked. Everyone looked at me. Dr. Morrison smiled. "Dr. Patel, I was hoping you'd ask. Of course, I'd be honored to have you on the team." My mother grabbed my arm. "Wait, you're going to operate on your own father?" "I'm going to assist. Dr. Morrison will lead. But yes, if you're comfortable with it." "Is that allowed?" "It's not typical, but given my expertise and the fact that Dr. Morrison is leading, yes." She looked terrified. "Will he be okay?" I took her hands. "Mom, I promise you, I will do everything in my power to make sure he comes through this." "But what if something goes wrong?" "Then I'll fix it. That's what I do." Dr. Morrison nodded. "Your daughter is one of the best, Mrs. Patel. If I needed heart surgery, I'd want her on my team." I scrubbed in, put on my surgical gown, and for the next 6 hours, I operated on my father's heart, the same father who'd never quite believed in me, who'd thought my career was too demanding, who'd spent 15 years barely acknowledging what I did. I held his beating heart in my hands. I repaired the damaged arteries. I gave him a second chance at life. When we closed him up, Dr. Morrison put his hand on my shoulder. "Excellent work, Dr. Patel. Your father is lucky to have you. Thank you for letting me be part of this." "Are you kidding? You basically ran that surgery. You're brilliant." I went to the waiting room still in my scrubs. My family jumped up. "The surgery went perfectly," I said. "He's stable. He'll need recovery time, but he's going to be okay." My mother collapsed in relief. Raj hugged her. Priya hugged me. "Thank you. Thank you so much." Mrs. Chen was crying. "You saved him. Dr. Morrison and I both did." "No," Mrs. Chen said. "I've been reading about you for the last 6 hours. You're a miracle worker. Your father is alive because you're exceptional at what you do." My mother was staring at me, really seeing me for the first time. "Can I see him?" she asked. "Soon. He's in recovery. They'll let you know when he's ready for visitors." We sat in the waiting room together. For the first time in 15 years, my family asked me about my work. Really asked. "What's the surgery like?" Raj wanted to know. "How do you stay calm?" Priya asked. "How did you learn to do this?" my mother whispered. I told them about medical school, about residency, about the thousands of hours of training, about the patients I'd saved, the innovations I'd developed, the research I'd published. They listened, really listened. "Why didn't you tell us all this?" my mother asked. I tried. "But you were always more interested in Raj's promotions or Priya's kids." "Because those are things we understand," she said. "We don't understand this." She gestured at my scrubs. "Heart surgery. Research papers. We're simple people, Maya. That doesn't mean you couldn't be proud of me." "We were proud." "No, you weren't. You were disappointed because I chose career over marriage, because I didn't follow the path you wanted." She started crying. "I was scared. Scared you'd be alone. Scared you'd have no one to take care of you. I take care of myself, and I take care of hundreds of patients. But who takes care of you?" I do. Mrs. Chen spoke up. Mrs. Patel, your daughter doesn't need someone to take care of her. She's successful, independent, and brilliant. You should be celebrating that, not mourning what she didn't become. My mother looked at her, then back at me. You're right. I've been wrong. About everything. My father woke up in recovery 6 hours later. I was there. So was my mother. Maya, he said, his voice weak. Hi, Dad. I'm here. What happened? You had a heart attack. We did bypass surgery. You're going to be fine. We? Dr. Morrison and I was on your surgical team. He blinked slowly, processing. You operated on me? Yes. His eyes filled with tears. My daughter saved my life. I did what I was trained to do. No. He grabbed my hand weakly. My daughter, the heart surgeon, saved my life. How did I get so lucky? I felt my own tears starting. I'm just glad you're okay. Over the next week, I stayed in New Jersey. I took time off work to be with my father during his recovery. Every day, my parents asked more questions about my work, my life, my achievements. They Googled me, found articles, videos of my conference presentations. Why didn't you show us these? My mother asked. I tried. You weren't interested. We were blind, my father said from his hospital bed. We were so focused on what we thought you should be, we never saw what you actually are. Which is? Extraordinary. Mrs. Chen visited every day. She'd become like family. One afternoon, she pulled me aside. I'm sorry, she said. For what? For all those years. Your parents would call me for everything, and I knew they had a daughter in Boston, but they never mentioned what you did. They just said you were too busy. It's not your fault. When I saw that article yesterday, I was shocked. I thought, how could they not know? How could they not be shouting from the rooftops about their brilliant daughter? They didn't want a brilliant daughter. They wanted a traditional one. Well, they're learning. Better late than never. Before my father was discharged, we had a family meeting. All of us. Parents, siblings, Mrs. Chen. My father spoke first. I want to apologize to Maya. For 15 years, we've been distant. We made you feel like your achievements didn't matter. They mattered, my mother added. We just didn't understand them. And instead of trying to understand, we withdrew. Why? I asked. Why did you pull away? Because we felt small, my father admitted. You became this incredible person, this doctor, this surgeon, and we're just us. We thought you'd outgrown us. I never wanted to outgrow you. I just wanted to grow. We see that now, my mother said, and we're sorry. So sorry. Raj spoke up. I'm sorry too. I was always the successful son, and I never acknowledged how much more successful you were. Priya nodded. I followed the traditional path and got praised for it, while you blazed your own trail and got criticized. That wasn't fair. I don't need praise, I said. I just needed you to see me. The real me. We see you now, my father said, and we're in awe. It's been 2 months since my father's heart attack. He's doing great, following all his post-surgery protocols, and something else has changed. My parents call me every week now, video calls. They ask about my surgeries, my research, my life. Tell us about the surgery you did today, my mom says. And I tell them about the 60-year-old woman whose life I saved, about the new technique I'm developing. They listen. They ask questions. Last month, they drove to Boston to visit me. First time they'd seen my apartment, my life. I gave them a tour of the hospital, introduced them to my colleagues. This is my mother and father, I said with pride. My father cried when he saw the surgical wing. You work here? In this incredible place? Yes, Dad. This is where I save lives. We're so proud of you, my mother said. I'm sorry it took us so long to say it. They met Mrs. Chen for dinner while they were visiting. "Thank you," my mother said to her, "for opening our eyes." "I just told the truth," Mrs. Chen said. "Your daughter is remarkable. You raised her well, even if you didn't realize it." Last week, my parents sent me a package. Inside was a framed photo from Priya's wedding, me in my sari standing with the family. The inscription read, "Dr. Maya Patel, our daughter, our hero, our pride and joy." I cried when I saw it, not because I needed their validation, but because after 15 years, they finally saw me, really saw me. So here's what I learned from all of this. Sometimes the people closest to you will be the last to truly see you, not because they don't love you, but because they're blinded by their own expectations. My parents spent 15 years disappointed that I wasn't who they wanted me to be. They were so focused on the daughter they'd imagined, they missed the daughter they actually had. It took a stranger, Mrs. Chen, to open their eyes. It took my father's heart attack to open their hearts. And now we're rebuilding. It's not perfect. There's still hurt, still years of distance to bridge. But we're trying, and that matters. So let me ask you something. Have you ever felt invisible to your own family? Like they couldn't see your accomplishments because they were too busy grieving who you weren't? How did you handle it? Did you wait for them to see you, or did you stop waiting? Share your story in the comments, because I guarantee you're not alone. And if this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button. Every week, I share real stories about family, success, and finding your own path. Stories about becoming who you're meant to be, even when people expect something else. My name is Dr. Maya Patel. For 15 years, I was invisible to my parents, until their neighbor asked, "Do you know who she is?" And everything changed. Thank you for listening to my story. Remember, your worth doesn't depend on others recognizing it. But when they finally do, it feels like coming home. Keep being extraordinary. Keep saving lives, literally or figuratively. Keep becoming who you're meant to be. Even if it takes 15 years for people to notice, you're doing amazing. I see you. Until next time.